just because two people both did dumb shit does not mean that the fuck up is equal on both sides.
Oh, here we go.
And that's
here we go. And this is him trying to basically coach the chat. He's trying to get the chat, who obviously believe that he had some very bad L takes recently. He is trying to say that even if you perceive that the conversation I had with MTash was equal amount of faults on both ends, because God forbid Tectone cannot admit to faults. Now he's saying that, well, you know, technically MTash is more at fault than I am.
There will never be any black and white scenarios whatsoever, and I'm going to get into all this. There is
a black and white scenario, okay? There's a black and white scenario with Street Fighter collab with Zenless Zone Zero, and you having this disagreement with Gotcha Smack and saying that, you know, essentially black and white, that was a bad collab, that it would have been more profitable, more of a business move for them to have something like Nier Automata because it's an open world game. That's not very gray. It's pretty black and fucking white, Tectone. Again, you have no business being in this space, in my opinion. You lack critical thought, and if you do have it, you decide not to show it half the time.
I think people in this community are so fucking stupid, it's insane.
Yeah, and you say that about a lot of people too. And I don't know why your chat would even want to stay in there when you continue to bash them, and when Hexjuice continues to bash them, and the only reason is because they're so fucking mindless. They're so sheepish. They're so cultish. They're so herdist. They don't feel like they have any other choice but to be literally abused by you in Hexjuice. And it's sad.
And when you put this shit on a scale, when an issue goes 90-10, they didn't both fuck up. Now, this person fucked up way more. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Especially when...
Oh, yeah, that's very convenient for you, by the way. Very convenient for you.
Some of the fuck-ups are because of miscommunication and misunderstanding versus mistakes and wrongdoings that are done out of malice. And that's very different.
Okay, and this is the new rhetoric they're going to have for MTash. Basically, they're suggesting that MTash did everything in malice, that he had this premeditated or this pre-established bias to go after Tectone. And listen, I don't align with everything MTash does, and I believe that he does have motives and intentions that are not necessarily good intentioned. But at the same time, anybody saw that interaction between him and Hexjuice. And if you're in this space, if you're a content creator who's probably, you know, top 10, 20 content creator and has been here the longest over some of the newer ones that have that audience, potentially, you would elicit an actual, like, an emotional response, and you would want to talk about it.
And that's just the truth. Because a lot of people are too fucking dumb to be able to explain that shit.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Hopefully that makes sense.
This is what he does constantly. Whenever he feels like he's going to lose an argument, he'll throw a fucking curveball. He'll try to throw... How many times did he say that? He said, I try to defend you, Tectone. I'm the one that gave 500,000. I'm the one that fucking raises content creators up. I'm the one... I'm addicted to gotcha, so that's why I don't spend. You know? Oh, what about your family? What about your friends? He's constantly using the same tactic over and over and over again. And it's so much effort and work, and it's so glaringly obvious to anybody that's not inside his little bubble, that it would just be better just for him to admit some fault, just any fault. It doesn't matter what, just something. He was playing the victim too. He always plays the victim. He said, I have no choice but to take the call. I have no choice. He forced me. Always said in the narrative. Hello, Echo. I sent this to Tectone's dictator. It looks like he will be reacting to you. Oh, good. Let's go. I'm ready.
Oh, Jesus. But yeah, and I'm going to go into all
this. If you're watching Echo and he reacts to me, tell me if he's doing it live. I'll have a discourse with him tonight if he wants.
Later, but I'm going to assume that a lot of you guys who have been here for a very long time. And I'm going to ask you guys something.
Yep. Ask us something. Go ahead.
Because here's the thing about schizos.
Oh, shit. He's using all the words. I was called a schizo so many times in my chat. When I was talking to him in chat, and then in my replies, many people use this word schizo as well. Just so you know, like that's his chat bleeding over to my chat. You know, that's his discourse bleeding over to my community, my chat.
Probably my schizos, and that's okay. I don't mind schizos at all.
You're
It would be fun if people were a little bit more accurate with what they were saying. I don't understand why people.
more accurate. So this is the new accurate arc that Tectone is on now. He's on this accurate arc. You know, he just wants to make sure everybody is saying their outtakes and their criticisms. Now, you know, if you're saying anything good about it, you don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to prove yourself. But if you're saying bad things about me, you got to prove yourself. So it doesn't work on both ends.
People think something is an L take. So the problem is that with this community, people are using L take synonymously with I don't agree, which is an incorrect way to do it.
Okay, what is the correct? What is the correct way to do it, Tectone? Please inform us. We are very, very curious.
And I want you to call me out on bullshit.
Oh yeah, well that's not possible because you've banned and exiled everyone else that would probably call you out on your bullshit. John Tectone. Let's be very clear, but we will see, won't we?
I do enjoy that. As long as, you know, whenever and this is very important to say, people like to say I'm really good at debating. I actually completely disagree. I don't think I'm good at debating whatsoever. I think the only thing that I'm good at is...
That's very convenient when you had 2 bad debates. And technically, you are notoriously a bad debater.
communicating myself and paying attention to what some...
You can't pay attention to fucking jack shit. Okay? Only thing you hear when people talk to you is, I am a god. I'm the biggest content creator in this space. I own the gacha community. I save Genshin Impact. I established Honkai Star Rail. I am the most prolific Wuthering Waves player. I praise and set the standard for what is established in Zenless Zone Zero. I take sponsored deals. I make so much money. That's all you hear when people talk, Tectone. Okay? Let's be very clear. You don't listen to fucking jack shit.
Somebody else is saying. I think I have a very good listening skills when it comes to someone else's argument. For example, I really don't think that you guys can see me dismantling someone like Destiny or Hassan or...
I would love to see it. But you know who you didn't mention in this, which I'm fucking offended by? Is a person named Plazukas.
Asmongold in a debate. But what I am really good at is exposing dumb fucks for being dumb fucks. That's...
You are the biggest dumb fuck. Therefore, it's an impossibility. It is statistically impossible for you to even identify anybody dumber than yourself. That is just facts, unfortunately. Unless, of course, you're just playing dumb, Tectone. In which case, pretty smart, I will admit.
That's what I'm good at. I'm kind of like Garen in League of Legends. I'm really good at low rank, but once you get into high rank, it's going to be a lot more difficult.
Yeah, you are the welfare version of... And I don't mean welfare in a negative connotation, first of all. Let me caveat here. If you need assistance, I'm a very progressive person. I believe in people needing help. However, I do not think Tectone needs assistance. So therefore, in my opinion, in terms of his particular situation, he does not need it. So him trying to always pick on the little guy, okay, and not shoot above himself, which is what he should be fucking doing, because I'm not doing that. I'm not picking on the little people. I would never do that, okay? And I don't want to pick on anybody. But at the same time, I'm not going to be bullied. So you should talk to Asmongold. You should talk to Destiny. You should talk to Hassan. Abso-fucking-lutely. I would love to see it. Not so much Asmongold, because I think Asmongold secretly is a fanboy of you in reality. It's kind of silly.
Right? I would consider myself a pub stomper rather than a master debater. Like, for example, I think you understand what I'm saying?
A masturbator?
Because, like, you got to understand, for me, I've never done any research. I've never done any practice. I've never done any type of training.
It's interesting that he would say that. And I do think that might be, like, obviously he's saying he's never done it, so I have to take his word for it, technically. But he does use tactics that people use in debate strategy, i.e. Trump. So he may not effectively practice, but he's definitely taken some playbooks from Trump or something of that vein.
For this shit. I just think I'm just naturally good at dissecting people who aren't that good at representing themselves. But I don't think that I excel in it in any way, shape, or form.
That is the most stupidest take I've ever heard in my entire life. You can't identify anything, apparently.
Great benefit of almost every person I've gone up against. Well, is just generally not.
Oh, what was the views on that?
Which is fine. Like for very serious issues, right?
Sorry.
For very serious issues. Like for example, I feel like me and Gotcha Smack are pretty much on
Oh wow,
equal
it's getting
terms
retweeted and
as far
everything.
as it
Yeah.
goes for debating skills. Absolutely.
Bookmarked, liked.
And I also think we're on same terms of how easily people can bait us by calling us a pussy. Senna, I love you so much. And I think you're a very good friend. And I really wish we would hang out more often.
Who's Senna?
But I like you quite a bit, Senna. And I'm glad you're here. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. All right. So I want to get into all this. Because I believe
I
so
see that.
busy. Oh, no, you don't have to apologize for anything, Senna. I'm just saying, whenever things slow down, hit me up. I would love to chill anytime, anywhere, do anything.
Cinnamon, maybe?
Your life is exploding right now.
Oh, is it?
There's so much shit going on. You do you, but if we ever bump into each other, just know that it'll be the same as the last time we met.
I mean, listen,
I'll still hate
I don't know if he wants to hang out with you, Tectone, because you always say that your real life persona is different than your online persona, but I'm beginning to think that maybe that's not entirely true.
your fucking ass, you ugly piece of shit. All right, cool. So let's get into this because I believe that Twitch chat has a very big benefit of understanding my relationships, understanding my relationships from a different perspective. And you guys in the past have warned me like, hey, I don't know about these two because I saw them doing some weird shit. Are you sure that y'all are good? I'm not looking for you guys to give me the answer. I'm just looking for your insight. And then I'm going to use your insight to understand how other people perceive my relationships and if there's any truth to it. If that makes any sense. Because I'm sure that you guys understood that what happened yesterday, I have been very well aware of for 4 years. And I was...
This is such a fucking conniving thing for him to do. Because before he started having the conversation with M-Tash or yesterday, he did all of this, like, walking back of his friendship, of all the motives that he said M-Tash had. He's basically saying that M-Tash wanted to fucking get on me in my case. Hex used to say the same thing now about M-Tash. They're trying to create this narrative that M-Tash has always wanted to basically, you know, bring down Tectone, blah, 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 blah. And I don't know. You know, I can't speak to, you know, all the history between these two. Obviously, M-Tash and him used to be in Genshin Impact and basically be equals. They combined for the Atsu stuff because they were both blacklisted, and like Atsu was the bearer of the keys to the gates, I guess. So yeah, I know that there's a history here, but at the same time, like this revisionist history is fucking so low, and again, just speaks to the depravity that is Tectone.
To make it work, but yesterday I just said, fuck, I just can't do it anymore. Sounds like a great way to get banned. There will be no bans this whole part.
What? No bans, bro. I need to see this, Ivan. There's going to be no bans, he says. Truly unfiltered. Unfortunately, most of his audience is just like his sheepest, herdest, cultists, and the people that would have actually said something legitimate have already been banned. So it's not really very transparent.
Bans later, once I start making my video.
He's mad.
Taking a little easy on Hex, it's what I feel. You have to understand.
Yep.
Right? And I'm gonna break this down for you.
Yep. There'll be no bans. I don't believe
try
it.
to make this make sense to you guys.
I don't believe it, especially if people just kind of like come in and.
And I think I can do this.
What?
All right.
What?
I'm gonna explain to you how.
Hurry.
Me talking to Hex about that scenario.
Yeah.
Was an impossibly unwinnable situation, which would guarantee doom no matter what happened.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Wow. I wouldn't expect anything less for you to literally uproot the entire rational conclusions that everybody made about that video and make it so that it's unwinnable. You're forced to do it. I get it. It is so. I'm almost at a point, and I will never be at this point, but I'm almost at a point where like it's not even worth watching Tectone anymore.
The moment emotions got brought into play, which I will say I've talked to Hex about this, and she 1,000,000% agrees. So here's the thing.
Yep.
Tectone, controversial figure. Hex Juice, controversial figure. Correct?
What are we miming? We miming?
You let me know when I'm getting off the point. We're both controversial figures. We both
Yeah,
agree.
go ahead.
We both talk about controversy. Stop debating people about the game? Absolutely not. It's my favorite thing to do. Okay? We're both controversial figures. We go to talk about something controversial. Everything makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everything makes sense, right? Yep.
Yep.
Great. When two people are talking about something controversial, things have a chance to get heated. There is a chance. Okay. We talk. That's not what happened, though? Yes, it was. It's actually entirely what happened, and we're going to continue here. The moment where two people go to talk about their viewpoints, what's very frustrating? When someone feels like they're not getting their point across, or when someone feels like they're being misrepresented or misunderstood. Keyword, feels. Keyword, feels.
Right, because it couldn't actually be a real emotion. It couldn't be like they were actually feeling like they were not heard. It couldn't. It's just a feels. It's not reality.
When feelings occur,
Yeah, it's over.
issues happen.
Yeah.
Now, here's the catch-22.
Oh, here's the catch-22.
Here's the catch-22 that I was put in. Okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
The moment
The moment.
the discussion happened, the moment the emotions came into play,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I lose.
Lose. Easy.
Ask me why do
How is that different than saying Zenless Zone Zero is bad?
I lose? Ask me how do I lose? And me and Hex have already talked about this.
Right.
Why?
Why?
There's two scenarios we go down.
Okay, there's more than two,
There's
but
now
go ahead.
two scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
I forfeit my point because I see my friend is upset.
You definitely didn't do that option. That's very clear publicly.
Right? I lose credibility as a content creator.
You are the fucking dumbest motherfucker I've ever... You lose credibility as not being Andrew Tate. You lose credibility as not being Donald Trump. You lose credibility, for not being Kim Jong-un, for not being Xi Jinping. But you don't lose credibility as being a fucking person. And if your chat's going to discredit you, if your chat's going to leave you because they think lesser of you as a content creator, but guess what, my friend? You've got more problems than any one person like Hexjuice or Mtash or Gotcha has of you, because that's just a sad reality. And Mtash said it good. Mtash said, I didn't believe Tectone would do this to me. And now that I know that, I feel sad for Tectone, because guess what? That probably means he's going to live a lonely life.
There is no winning. There is literally...
This fucking logical fallacy is so fucking bad. There's plenty of wins. You being nice to Hexjuice was an actual win. Period. You actually saying, you know what? I was kind of wrong. You didn't have to even fully admit that you were wrong. You could have, at the very least, acknowledged her emotions and said sorry. Regardless of the debate, regardless of the issue. It's what Amtash said. It's the point that we were trying to fucking make, you Neanderthalic, stone-brained, ignorant, selfish, narcissist.
And that's it. And unfortunately, I chose the misogyny route, and then I hit her in the fucking face.
Thank you. At least you acknowledge that that's what you chose, and there were so many more options to choose.
Yep.
And then she decided that, you know what, after you talked to her, and probably, I would love to see those DMs, because it would probably indicative of a relationship where it does seem a bit controlling and manipulative. I'm just saying that. I have no evidence of that. I'm just, based on everything I know about the public persona of Tectone, I'm going to make some assumptions that probably make an ass of me. No lie. If I ever saw them, I'd probably be like, oh, well, I was wrong. clearly. That's why she's back on board the Tectone train. He's so happy because he thinks he wins. He thinks this is a way to basically counter the argument and be like, I couldn't do anything, chat. I had to do this. This was a no-win situation. I had no choice. I couldn't just be a human fucking being when I wanted to literally talk about this in the public discourse. I couldn't be human because I have a reputation to keep. I have a reputation to keep as Andrew Tate, Alpha Omega male, testosterone driven male. Ah!
I hit her.
That's fucking weird. I didn't even realize that was gonna be the next sentence statement. That's fucking weird, bro. And that's a win for you? Such a weird logic. And you say you're not like this in real life. I question it. I question it because nobody, if that's your friend, which I already questioned that, would do that to their friend, even on their online persona, in my opinion.
I will no longer be debating any woman on my stream because I hit women. Yep. That being said, I will be going on Destiny's podcast next week.
What? That'll be great. I'm ready to see that.
Man, can't wait for that. It's going to be awesome, actually. It's going to be good. Perfectly happy to never debate you again. Jesus Christ. Sometimes you find things out. I had no fucking idea you can't tell a woman they're not being emotional. Or they're being, I didn't know you can say that. Now I do. Fucking man, you can't know someone's trigger words until you've triggered them. You know what I'm saying?
You can just be a normal human person, especially if it's your friend, and react, normally, and you wouldn't ever have this issue.
Emmy, please stop typing in my chat. You're being emotional.
I sent a link to one of him being rude.
Anyways, yeah.
In the chat, Palmier, you can join my Discord if you want to send links. I haven't set it up here in the thing. The issue isn't that he said that to a woman, is that he used the word to invalidate anything she said. Yes, that's part of it as well. Absolutely. It's how it's being used. He said that. He said he hit a woman, but he was doing it metaphorically.
But now I get it. But yeah, now I totally get it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Now he's saved. Yay! Good job! 30-year-old Tectone who's lived in this space for how long? Don't know how to talk to a woman. Was married to a woman for how long? Okay, I believe you. Sure. It's not like you've never lied. It's not like you've never, said that you're. It's never like it's not like you don't admit that you're wrong about things constantly. It's not like you're not hypocritical. There's not like there's 100 million examples of why, you eat your own words every single day. But sure, I believe you in this case.